Yo, what's up, boys? So, we're gonna do a trade recap for 5/23, 2024. Um, First of all, we might as well go into daily bias, but specifically, the morning bias, because that's the only thing that was used for this trade, because I didn't trade the PM because I was sleeping. I'll just go through it. But we took a loss today. I was going to prevent this from being a loss, but I was in class and I had to do something. But I'll tell you guys what I was going to do and then how I got folked, basically. But yeah, so before, right, if we look at agent session, we made a gap up and we never really came back to that gap. And by the time we were at open, which is like right here, we were up like 260 or something points. So with a gap lower, and we already pushed up this much, I was expecting a retracement back to fill this gap in um I was expecting us to retrace back and fill that gap. So yeah. And also I learned from this trade. So, I've kind of done this same mess up a few times. Uh so I kind of know what it is that I should not be doing, but yeah. Okay, so let's go through this. Basically, I didn't really get any good entries, in my opinion, off of like the open and stuff until we started seeing these like bigger gaps down here, and we were already close enough to break this and get through the gap in one like price leg, which is why I took the trade down here and not like from here, even though from here would have been way better. But um, yeah. So basically, I like to do this where I take it off a fair value gap on the retracement before we hit the price target, which doesn't really work most of the time, and I'll tell you why. Because the market makers like to manipulate right when they get down close to the the level of interest. So what I mean by that is they like to make a fake break of structure, for example. Um, so where would the break structure be? Be right here, right? Because higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Sorry, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And we come up and break that previous lower high, right? But this is not a real market structure shift because we haven't reached the the place that the market wants to go, right? So you guys can see once we do that, I wanna check. Okay. So we never hit this order block, but we did tap this fair value gap, this tiny fair value gap right here, right? I wouldn't probably use that, but what I would use is this breaker block right here. and this fair value gap to get an entry right here. With yeah, probably a stop here and a target here. Right, so this was the real trade that I was looking for. And if you guys take a look at this, it executes during this time macro, and then it starts to reverse and gives us an entry for a long to these highs in this time macro too, right? So take with that what you will, but that's the trade that I should have took. Right, I had the right idea. I just didn't execute well, but I can't be mad at that, right? That's part of trading, and the emotions, you can't let them in, man. Like, I've dealt so, like, I know I have what it takes to be a trader. It's all just in here is why I haven't became profitable yet for a good period of time, right? And most of it's just greed, and then greed when I'm trading good because I'm overconfident, and underconfidence when I'm trading bad, right? And I know how to fix those. I just haven't. But this summer, I'm fixing them. And I'll tell you how I'm going to do it actually, so that maybe you guys can help yourselves. But for example, if I were to be trading in a slump, you know, the market's price action isn't really fitting my trading style, and I noticed this. So, say like 3 red days in a row where, I've just been on the wrong side of things. Right? Here's how I would come back from that. Say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I trade like shit. Right? My mental state of mind is bad. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna hop off any real money accounts or funded challenges or funded accounts that I'm on. I'm gonna paper trade the last 2 days of the market and just see how that goes. And if those days are both red, then it doesn't matter because it's paper, right? So that'll make it easier to not care what the outcome is. That's number one. Number two is I would definitely journal all the losing trades from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and go back into the market after a day off. So, for example, I would take Saturday off after the trading week and just go do something fun, right? Forget about what happened during the trading week because you have it written down in your journal. And then Sunday I'd come back and go through the charts again. Fully go through the charts and look at where you messed up. Perhaps you traded at a bad time in the day. Your entry didn't align with a price macro. Uh, you know, that your target wasn't the real place that the market wanted to go, etc. But you guys know what I mean, right? So, and then this is the biggest thing that's fucked me over. I have not really put this story out there that much, but I've told a few people, I've told Sut. But when I got my first funded account, um, let me think. I blew it in 4 days, right? And that by itself, if it was like minus 500 4 days in a row, that wouldn't break me. It wouldn't break me that much. But the reason that it did is because the first 2 days I was up $1,700. And the afternoon of the second day, when I was up 1,700, I got overconfident and I got greedy, and I saw that the $2,000 profit level was just right there, and I thought it would be easy to get it. And I hopped on and I lost like 1K from over leveraging, getting greedy, and then trying to double down on losing trades. And that is horrible trading. So I'm going to be working really hard to prevent that. I know it's one of my weaknesses, but it's not going to be soon. So, yeah. Going into how I was going to turn this into a winning trade, but I couldn't. I took the entry off this fair value gap. We got a nice starting reaction, but we didn't close under this fair value gap and invert it, which was a bad sign in my opinion. We came back up and tapped it, came back down, and we went through it again, but we wicked. And on this candle, I told myself, all right, if we don't close under on this candle, I'm going to take one of my contracts off and move my stuff to break even, which would have given us like, I don't even know how much profits. It would have given us like 250 maybe. But we couldn't get that. But that's fine. You gotta take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my trade for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the little rant I went on, but yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys how I would stop being overconfident and greedy. Um, Pretty much, um, that happens when you're trading good, right? So as soon as you are up for the day, just just don't even touch the app, right? And most people, it's easy to do that. Well, I would say that actually. I would say it's very hard to do that. So what else can you do is you can go the extra mile and actually just delete the app from your phone until, you know, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. EST, which is when the market closes or when it gets slower. Right, but that's when the stock market closes. You can just delete the app, trading view until then. You know, do anything it takes to not look at the charts until the next day because you're not in the right state of mind when you've been winning a lot, but you're not profitable, right? You think this is finally you becoming profitable. You think it's just gonna happen out of thin air. Well, it's not, right? I've had setups that have worked incredibly well, and then I start to go all in on them, and it turns out they were only working that many days in a row for a week, right? We had 1 week, which was when I blew my funded. The first like 2 days of the week. Um, well, actually, the whole week I was trading on a funded combine, and all I was trading was 3 a.m. in the morning, London session, search and destroy, and that worked for all 5 days of the week. But when I came back on Monday, it's like we weren't even searching for shit. Like search and destroy was not the setup of the week for the next week, and that's eventually how I blew my funded because I kept trying to trade every single liquidity sweep, in London kill zone, and that's just not gonna work. So, uh, and that's just from my experience. You guys can hopefully use that to learn and grow better. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.